Okay, we're going to start in a lying down warm-up. So just come on down to your mat. If you like to have your head elevated on a folded up blanket or something else for support, feel free to place that. And you can either come into corpse pose or you can bend your knees with your feet on the floor, whatever feels the best to you today. And we'll just start to bring our attention into the room. What you've done already is done, and what you have left to do today will be there when we're finished with this time for ourselves. So just start bringing your attention to your breath, just noticing how it feels on the inhale. No need to change anything. Notice how it feels on the exhale. And notice too your body coming in contact with the mat and just notice how it feels. I mean, you feeling like you're holding on to any tension, just noticing, not judging. And then we'll go ahead and start warming up the body here a bit. So let's bring our right knee into our chest. The left foot can, if you weren't in corpse pose, the left foot or the left knee may still be bent. And then we're going to go ahead and extend that left leg straight. So both feet are activated. We're pulling the right toes toward the chin on the right leg. And then we're pressing out through the heel of the left leg. So we'll start warming up the abs on the front of the body. We're going to be working on core strengthening today. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just curl up, just your nose toward your knee. Close are wide and release back down. Take a deep breath in. We'll do that again. Exhale and curl up. And release. And this next time, we're going to add a twist. So take a deep breath in. Exhale and curl up. And this time, we're going to wrap that left elbow around the right knee. So we're doing a little bit of a twist toward the right. We'll go ahead and turn back toward the center and then release back down. Go ahead and release that right foot to the mat. Bring the left knee to meet it, and then bring the left knee into the chest. Just like we did on the other side. Then we'll go ahead and extend that right leg straight. Activate those feet, bringing the left toes toward the left shin, and then pressing out through the heel on the right leg. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and curl up. And release back down. Do that one more time. Inhale and exhale, curl up. Release back down. So next time we'll add that twist. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and curl up. We'll wrap the right knee around, or I'm sorry, the right elbow around the knee. Feeling that twist through the torso. Go ahead and bring everything back to center and then release down. Release that left foot back to the mat and bring the right foot to meet it. So let's do a couple of pelvic tilts here. Just press the low back into the mat and then release. Low back into the mat and release. And then one more time. Okay, for the next one, we'll bring one knee into the chest and then the other. So we're currently in the knees to chest pose or Apanasana. And we'll add a little bellows breath here. So our hands are on our knees. We're going to inhale, let our knees drop away from us just a little. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the knees into the chest, helping us to expel a little bit more deeply. Continue with your breath. Inhaling, knees drop away. Exhaling, pull the knees in. After the next exhale, we'll just let the knees drop to they kind of want to rest. I mean, your hands are still holding on to the knees, but we're just letting the legs drop away from the torso a little bit here. And we'll add a rocking side to side motion. So just go ahead and start to rock side to side, massaging the low back a little bit here. You can feel a little bit of work in the abs as we move side to side. And then we'll go ahead and let the momentum take us to one side or the other, doesn't matter which. And then once we get on the side, we'll extend that top leg, bring our hands to the mat, and just press ourselves up to seated. And we'll come on over to tabletop. If you're on a hard surface or you just like a little extra padding under your knees, feel free to put a blanket or some kind of padding underneath your knees, especially if you've had any sort of knee replacement or knee injuries where you need a little extra. So we'll come on, just make sure that you don't have any lumps in your blanket like I do, because it causes a ridge and it can be uncomfortable, and it also causes your hips to not be even. So go ahead, come on into tabletop. We'll tuck our toes, drop the belly toward the mat, raise the gaze to look at the wall in front of us, coming into cow. And we'll flatten the tops of the feet, round the back, nose toward the navel, coming into cat. So we'll just continue to flow here between the two. You can go at your own pace. If you want to hold one a little bit longer than the other, that's fine. Just whatever feels good. And the next time you come through the cat back stretch, we'll just return to the neutral spine in tabletop. So we'll just come on back. Keep the toes tucked for now. We're going to do a bear plank here. So the way we do that is we're here in tabletop. We're pressing through our fingertips to really take a lot of the pressure out of our wrists. Our toes are tucked, and we're just going to raise the knees off the mat about an inch. Continue to breathe and release back down. You can feel that we're doing a lot of activation through the upper legs into the core muscles. We're going to do that one more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and raise the knees. And release. Now from here, we'll go ahead and flatten the tops of our feet into the mat. And then walk your hands back, pushing your hips toward your heels and coming into child's rest.
So you can be in whatever version of child's rest you prefer. If you like your knees together, or if you want to have your knees wide and the toes together, that's an option as well. If your head doesn't come all the way to the floor, you can bend your elbows and stack your fists or stack your hands and rest your forehead down. And from here, we'll bring our hands back to the mat. Go ahead and push ourselves back up into that tabletop position. Tuck our toes, and we're going to come into our first downward facing dog of the day. So go ahead and raise those hips up into the air. Let the head and the heart drop toward the mat. Press through the fingertips to help take the pressure out of the wrists. And then once you kind of get settled into your down dog, go ahead and pedal down your legs. So bend one knee, straighten the other, and bend the other, just alternating back and forth. Sometimes we call this walking the dog. Just go slow so you can stretch down the calves. And then we'll come to stillness back into downward facing dog. We're going to lower our hips coming into a high plank. Now, if high plank is not your thing, drop your knees. That's totally fine. If you're in high plank, we want a straight line from the crown of the head to the heels. If you're in knee plank, we want that straight line to be crown of the head to the knees. Go ahead and come back up into high plank and then push back into downward facing dog. And we're going to do that one more time. Drop the hips, drop the knees. Everybody drop the knees. And then we're going to very carefully and slowly lower ourselves to the mat. So hug those elbows in toward the sides and just lower down onto the mat. Keeping the elbows hugged in helps protect the shoulders. And then you can bring your hands out in front and stack your hands, rest your forehead down, and then we'll bend the knees and windshield wiper a little bit here to help release the back. And we'll go ahead and bring both of the feet back to the mat. And we're going to do some stuff that's belly down. I still have the blanket underneath my pelvis, and if you have that and you don't want it, feel free to take a second to remove that. So the first one that we're going to come into, the first pose that we're going to come into here is Sphinx. So we'll just bring our elbows directly underneath our shoulders. Forearms are parallel, and palms can either be on down on the mat or facing each other. So you decide which feels better for you. Press down through the elbows to lengthen up. So we want to be reaching out through the crown of our head, and we don't want our shoulders to creep up around our ears. So we want to stay nice and tall. And press those feet into the mat, press the pubic bone into the mat, and gently squeeze the glutes to help support the low back. So this is one of the back bends that we'll do today. We'll stay here for another breath or two. And if you would like to go into a deeper back bend, bring your hands to the top edges of your mat and then straighten your arms any amount. So they can be just a little bit off the mat all the way to fully straight. It just depends on how your back's feeling today. This is Seal. Continue to breathe. If at any time this is too much, go ahead and come back down to Sphinx or even back to Crocodile Rest. Right, to come out of this pose, we'll gently bring one elbow to the mat and then the other coming through Sphinx. And then we'll gently come down, stacking our hands in front of us, returning to Crocodile Rest. And then we can bend those knees in windshield wiper. Bring those feet back to the mat. And do one more thing while we're down here. So, whenever we're working on core work, we need to work on the back muscles as well. So I'm going to rest my chin down on the mat. I'm being careful not to put a lot of strain on my neck, but I'm going to bring my hands out to the sides with my hands directly underneath the shoulders. Elbows are hugging into the sides of the body. We're going to take a deep breath in, press the pelvis into the mat, and then raise up any amount. You can even pick your hands up off the mat. This is just baby Cobra. So we're using the back muscles on either side of our spine to lift us up. And release back down. If you want to windshield wiper a little bit while we're down, feel free to do so. And then we'll do that again. So feet back to the mat. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and lift up, lifting the hands if you like. Squeezing the shoulder blades together may help you lift a little bit more. And release. Bring the hands in front and stack them back to Crocodile Rest, and then we'll windshield wiper again here. Go ahead and place those feet back on the mat. And then we're going to bring those hands underneath the shoulders one more time. Hug the elbows into the sides and press up, coming through tabletop. And then walk the hands back. Hips are coming back toward the heels, coming into child's rest again. Again, yogi's choice on which version you like, either knees together or knees wide. Stacking your hands or stacking your fists to support the head. Then we'll come back up into tabletop. I'm going to tuck those toes and come into downward facing dog one more time. We're going to flow into plank, high plank or knee plank. You decide. Back into downward facing dog, just briefly. Back into plank. Drop the knees. And then come on back into child's rest one more time. And then we'll just walk our hands toward our knees and just come up to seated briefly.
So now we're going to turn around and sit down on our mats. Do a little more core work on the front of the body. So there's a lot of different versions of boat pose or navasana, and I'm going to show you from what we're going to start with. So as I mentioned, I've been having some issues with one of my feet and one of my hips, so I'm not going to do any kind of full boat today. But anyway, we're going to start here. We're on our sitting bones. Our knees are bent, our heels, our feet are on the floor, and we're holding on to our knees. So now to start with your most basic boat activation, go ahead and lean back just slightly. You can still hang on to your knees. You can feel the core muscles, the abdominal muscles on the front of the body start to engage. And then if you'd like a little bit more, you can let go and lean back just a little bit more. Just make sure you're not dumping into the low back. Keep it nice and elongated. Now we're going to sweep our hands, only if you want to, but sweep your hands in an arc over the knees. This is helping to work the oblique muscles on the side of the torso. But if it's a little too much for this morning, feel free to just hold or come back into whatever version of Navasana you would like. So now, back and hold on to our knees here for a moment. And we're going to round down. So let's go ahead and wrap our arms around our thighs and just rest down. So we're bringing a little roundness to the back to just counterbalance what we were doing with the boat pose. And we'll go ahead and come back up into our original position for boat pose with our heels or feet on the floor, lean onto our knees. We're slightly leaned back, engaging those core muscles. And then we're going to let go. And we're going to come down to the mat as slow as we possibly can, one vertebrae at a time. Just slow, slow, slow. And then as soon as you get all the way down, you can walk your feet in a little bit, coming into that constructive rest position. You can walk your feet out a little bit and let your knees just come together, resting here. And then if you have your feet a little bit wider, go ahead and walk them hip distance apart and have a block handy and your strap. So the first, we're going to do some variations of bridge pose. So we'll start first grabbing one of our blocks, place it between our thighs. And so your legs are your knees are pointing directly toward the ceiling. You're going to bring the arms down by the sides with the palms facing up. Tuck each shoulder blade underneath. This allows us to widen out through the collarbones. If you have anything underneath your head, you may want to move that away for this series. But when we come up into bridge, we're going to press into the block. So we'll take a deep breath in, press into the block, and raise our hips into the bridge pose. So now we want to press those knees toward the wall in front of us. Gently engage the glutes to help support the low back. And don't forget to breathe. And then if you like to do the bind where you walk your arms underneath and clasp your hands underneath your hips, feel free to do that, but you don't have to. If you did the bind, go ahead and release the arms and then lower down slowly, slowly, slowly back to the mat. So once you get all the way back down on the mat, you can remove the block. Just place it to the side because we're going to use that again. And then with our low back, let's go ahead and do some pelvic tilts. Just pressing the low back into the mat and then gently letting it just return to its natural curve. Press it into the mat and then release. Press it into the mat and release. Let's do that one more time. Okay, and then we're going to take our strap and make a loop in the strap. So go ahead and connect it. Once you get the loop made, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and just put the strap around both legs. And you can tighten it down, but not all the way. So we don't want our thighs to be strapped together. You're going to have a little space between them. So to test that, when you press out into the sides of the strap, you can put a fist width distance between your thighs. So it'll be about mid thigh, and make sure the buckle or the clasp is not on your skin anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and bring our arms back down to our sides, palms facing up. Heels are about hip distance apart. We're going to take a deep breath in, and when we raise our hips, we're going to press out into the strap, coming up into this version of bridge. So again, those knees are pressing toward the wall in front of us, gently engaging the glutes to help support the low back. And we're breathing. Again, you're welcome to do the bind here if you'd like, just walking those shoulder blades underneath, clasping the hands. If you did the bind, release the hands, and then slowly lower yourself back down to the mat. Once you get all of your back and your hips back on the mat, go ahead and bring the knees into the chest and slide the strap down and off, and then you can just place that off to the side. And then we'll take up our block again. We're going to do one more version of bridge pose. So our heels are about in line with our sitting bones. And this time we're going to just raise up our hips, and we're going to take the block on the lowest setting and place it underneath our sacrum, which is that flat part at the very bottom where your hips are. So once you get settled on there, you should notice that there aren't any vertebrae on the block. They're all just kind of released there, hanging, getting to release. Our feet are still on the mat at this time. You can stay here. This can be your supported bridge, or you can try extending one leg, heel on the floor. If that feels good and you want to try the other side, go ahead and extend that leg too. But if it's too much to have them both extended, You can alternate, and I'll give you a halfway point so you can change legs if you decide to do that. So this is a really great stretch for the front of the hip creases, stretches up into the psoas muscle. All of that gets a lot of work as we're sitting a lot during the day. And now if you're alternating legs, go ahead and switch. And then to come out of this pose, we'll bring one foot to the mat and then the other. When both feet are on the mat, go ahead and press through your heels, raise the hips, and remove the block. And then lower back down. And then once you get everything back on the mat, go ahead and do those pelvic tilts again, pressing the low back and releasing. Low back into the mat and release. And low back into the mat and release. We'll do one more pose that helps to reset after all these back bends. So we'll be bringing our ankles and our knees together. Then we're going to let our knees drop away from each other and the soles of the feet are coming together. So now we're coming into reclined cobbler. So we're going to be here for just a little, a few breaths. So if this is too much, and our thigh stretch, you can ball up your fists and place them under your upper thighs, or you can even use your blocks underneath your knees. So whatever feels best, you can rest your hands down on your belly or out to the side. Just whatever feels good. All right. So we'll go ahead and bring our hands to our thighs, pull the knees back together. And then we're very slowly going to bring one knee into the chest and then the other. So we want to be really mindful and take our time when we're changing directions. So we've been doing sort of some back bends, right? And now we're rounding the back here a little bit, but we don't want to do that too quickly. So just pull those knees into the chest. We're going to do a couple of twists here to round out the asana part of our practice. So we'll let one foot drop back to the mat and then the other. So we're coming back into that constructive rest or hook lying position. We'll extend the right leg long and straight. We're keeping that left foot on the mat. We'll pick up our hips and move them a couple of inches to the left. Left foot comes on top of right thigh. And then the right hand guides the knee into the twist. So we moved those hips a couple of inches to the left so that when we twist, our hips will stack. Left arm goes out into a T, coming into crocodile twist. So you can stay exactly right here. We are trying to keep that left shoulder as close to the floor as we can so that we get a good twist through the torso. And look off of the left fingertips. Some people like that, making it feel like it takes that twist all the way up into the cervical spine. On our next exhale, we're going to release that knee, the knee, just everything unwind. We're going to bring the other foot to the mat and then recenter ourselves on our mat. You may have to look to make sure you're back in the center. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll extend the left leg long and straight with the strength of the right foot. We'll pick up our hips, move them a couple of inches to the right. Right foot goes on the left thigh, and then the left hand brings that knee into the twist. Right arm out to a T. Again, you can look off of those right fingertips and just enjoy this twist. On our next exhale, just go ahead and release the knee. Let everything unwind. Both feet come to the mat and we recenter ourselves. All right. So now we'll bring both knees into the chest. We'll rock side to side here, just massaging the low back. And then if you like to do a happy baby, you can morph the Apanasana into that by bringing the soles of your feet toward the ceiling. You can either grab behind your knees, or you can reach and grab either the outer or inner edge of your feet. You can rock side to side here, or you can just stay static. And stretch one leg long and then the other. Just whatever feels really good here. So you go ahead and continue to do whatever other stretches or poses you'd like to do. I'll give you about a minute while I get ready for our meditation in Shavasana. As usual, I always like for you to be in a very supported pose. So if that's a corpse pose with a bolster or a pillow underneath your knees, you can do a side lying Shavasana. You can be just in corpse flat on the ground, whatever you want. If you want to do legs up the wall, legs on a piece of furniture, just whatever feels good. Just make sure that your body is fully supported, because I want you to be able to completely relax while I read the meditation. And the meditation that I'm doing today is called Embracing the Darkness of the New Moon. So today is a new moon. And so we'll go through this journey. The new moon is a time for introspection, quiet reflection, and the planting of seeds, whether intentions or desires. In the soft embrace of its darkness, we find a space for renewal and deep connection to ourselves. Settle into a comfortable position with your body fully supported. Notice your body making contact with the surface beneath you, knowing that you are safe and held. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and begin to tune into your breath, allowing it to flow naturally. As each breath comes and goes, invite a sense of relaxation to wash over you, starting from the crown of your head, moving down through your body, all the ways to your toes. Feel the weight of your body as you settle deeper into the earth. Allow yourself to become fully present, letting go of any distractions for the day. As you breathe in deeply, imagine yourself standing beneath a vast night sky where the stars twinkle faintly and the sky is a rich, velvety black. Above you, the new moon is hidden in the sky, a silent presence. The air around you is cool, still, and filled with possibility. Feel the crispness of the night air as it touches your skin, a reminder that this is a time for stillness, a time to listen to the whispers of your inner world. With each breath, you begin to walk along a path illuminated only by the dim light of the stars. The darkness around you is not intimidating, but nurturing, cradling you like a soft blanket. This is the darkness of the new moon, a space of infinite potential where all things are possible, yet nothing is fully formed. As you walk, you notice the ground beneath your feet is cool and soft, the earth absorbing any heaviness, any burdens you carry. Feel the earth welcoming you to release what no longer serves you. You come to a quiet clearing where the air feels even more still and the darkness deepens. Here you pause, knowing this is your sanctuary. You sit or lie down in this sacred space, fully embraced by the new moon's energy. In this moment, take a deep breath in and exhale any remaining tension, allowing yourself to rest. In this darkness, you are not lost, but found. Here, your deepest desires, intentions, and dreams begin to stir, like seeds planted deep within the earth. The new moon offers you this fertile space to grow, to reflect, and to begin anew. Allow yourself to rest here in this quiet void, trusting that the darkness is filled with potential, ready to nurture the seeds of your soul. When you're ready, begin to deepen your breath, inviting movement back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes, feeling the soft sensations as you reawaken. Circle your wrists and ankles, allowing movement to flow gently back into your limbs. In your own time, roll over to one side, drawing your knees in slightly as you pause here in our pose of transition. Feel the earth beneath you, supporting you as you gather the peace and stillness from your practice. Take a moment to express gratitude to yourself for showing up for this time of healing and reflection. Feel that gratitude radiating from your heart as you prepare to return to your day, carrying with you the sense of calm and connection you've cultivated here. Whenever you need it, remember that this inner sanctuary of love and light is always within you. You can return to this space at any moment simply by taking a breath and turning inward. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Know that the seeds you planted during this new moon meditation will grow and flourish in their own time. Carry this quiet wisdom, this inner light with you as you move forward. You are always held, even in the darkest of moments. Take a moment to thank yourself for this practice. And as you move back into the flow of life, rest in the process of renewal and growth. So when you're ready, just very gently and slowly press yourself back up to a seated position. We'll meet here with our arms down by our sides, palms facing out. We'll circle sweep our arms up overhead, bringing hands together in Anjali Mudra or prayer hands. Bring thumbs to forehead, reminding us to live with an open mind. Thumbs to lips reminds us to speak kind words not only to others, but especially to ourselves. And thumbs to heart center reminds us to live with peace and gratitude. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. Namaste.